bombing your communist ass onto the canvas. Is that what they call it? The canvas of freedom.
Good. Canvas
Yeah.
works.
Or onto the steel tarmac of freedom. Whatever.
Yeah.
Or bomb it straight off the tarmac.
We'll make new fucking ground to slam your ass off of.
Exactly, dude. It's a no holds barred, pins fall anywhere match. That's how we're rolling tonight, man. All right, what's going on, man?
Nothing much, man. Same old shit. It's
we're on the
chill weekend. Yeah.
JRev Radio, Raz Radio Live, Radio Chaos, Salty Talk Radio, and IPM Nation. What's going on out there? Thanks for I want to thank everybody that's doing the hard job of shying away from the Oscars tonight to be with us live.
Yeah, no shit. You know what's funny, man, is like I haven't watched the Oscars in what has to be like
a long time.
Dude, it's got to be at least like 6 years since before I even started like going towards like anarchism and things like that. It's just a subject of the culture that I like care not for. I just really don't, man. It was never my deal. Now I will say, what was it? The guy, God, man, I'm terrible at fucking names. The dude from fucking City Slickers, dude, that hosted it, and it was fucking hilarious.
Billy Crystal.
No, it was the only time. Not a huge fan of him. I just remember watching it that night and being like, "Oh, this is kind of cool. This is kind of a cool little deal." And then it was probably the last time I ever fucking saw it. Really.
Whoever
not
thought
saw pieces of it anyway.
Whoever thought to pin Billy Crystal as a fucking comedian should be.
Oh no.
No. But that's what it is, though.
No, absolutely. But yeah, no, I wouldn't look at him as a comedian. I mean, he's definitely like a showman type dude. I think that's what made it cool. Was it was just
he's sort of billed as such, and he does the whole bit. Have you ever heard that fucking jazz trumpet play, like the Louis Armstrong bit that he does?
No, I've never heard even any bit that he does. Actually, like I said, the only times I've seen him was actually in City Slickers and on. No, and I'm sure I've seen a couple of his older movies too, but I've never seen any bit that he does really.
It's terrible. It's unfunny.
I believe that.
And not only that, he does like this whole it's I don't care, but it's really what the left would deem racist as fuck nowadays.
Oh, yeah, but let's not even like act like the things that the left would deem racist now were not things the left did completely back in the day. I mean, they're probably the biggest group of hypocrites, like aside from the right and their whole like peace thing. They're pretty hypocritical.
But yeah, I mean, Billy Crystal's had like Showtime specials, like as a comedian.
Yeah, I've never seen any of his specials, anything like that. I've never.
And he does this whole. We'll play a second of it here.
2 band 3 crack.
Oh wow, he's got it on cue. Right there,
they make the hell out of us by the way they come to our high school. This is a high school team, right? They come to our high school.
Let me.
And our spot. And the coach. I'm not gonna pan through this. I didn't have it on tap, but he has this whole. Can you dig it?
Yeah.
Yeah. That whole deal.
Yeah, I've actually heard him do that voice. Yeah.
It's terrible. It's
for sure
terrible. Anyway.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah.
Racist tonight.
Yeah, that would be about the worst thing that we've ever paid attention to that we don't pay attention to.
Yeah, anyway, fuck the Oscars and their fucking self-congratulatory bullshit for shit that they turned a blind eye to.
Fucking circle jerk.
It is. I wonder if Jimmy Kimmel's gonna fucking cry tonight.
Oh, I bet he does, dude. I bet he does. That's like his shtick now.
Right.
That's like his thing. You're the guy that cries about shit.
I'll go you one step further. Jimmy Kimmel is really taking away the fucking teardrop from Denzel Washington and Glory. So it's like that. Teardrop was synonymous with Denzel, and now once again another thing that the white man has taken back.
And let's not act like everybody thinks Denzel's a better man than fucking Jimmy Kimmel. Like I don't even think that's The paid fool, really.
Come on, we've met Nazis in fucking gangs in prison that fucking believe that
Denzel's they think Denzel's the man. Yeah. Right. There's no denying that shit.
Did you see Ricochet? You know?
Yeah, dude. No, back in the day, dude. What was his movie with me doing it again? Fucking. What was his movie? What was it? It wasn't Russell Crowe. It was the other guy that was like him. Back in the day, and the guy was like, he was like an AI.
Ethan Hawke.
No, I wouldn't. No, you're thinking Training Day. I'm talking about. Oh man, it's older than that. We were like teenagers. I'm gonna come up with it, but let's move on. And
no, it was Kevin Spacey. That something Velocity.
No.
Hold on, motherfucker.
No. It was dude. It was
Denzel Kevin Spacey. Speaking of which,
no, it wasn't that one though.
You're killing me, bruh.
Yeah, no, I'm like Googling it right now. Don't even worry about it.
All right,
let's
yeah.
see. Yeah.
Continue on.
Virtuosity. Yeah.
Virtuosity. Yeah, I was close, nigga.
Yeah, you were close. You were close. But it was no, it was Russell Crowe that was in it. Yeah. So it was Russell Crowe and Denzel. That was, dude, I remember seeing that as a kid, and that was like one of my favorite movies as a little kid, dude. And that's when I started fucking loving Denzel shit.
I remember.
Now I go back and watch it, and it was a terrible movie, but.
Oh, absolutely. And I remember I think it came out in like 91, 92. Ricochet was the first thing I ever saw Denzel in, and that was John Lithgow was the bad guy in that.
Yeah, dude. Okay, I remember that now.
It's a good fucking movie. Yeah. Anyway, moving along. Fuck it. We got our own Oscar shit. We're going to take it back to 92.
Like
you know?
All Denzel.
Right, all Denzel all the time. For anybody that thought that this is a alt-right show, we're just going to be like, no, wasn't Denzel good?
Quoting fucking 90s through current fucking Denzel movies.
All right, so a little bit, and we'll pop off on some stuff on the back end before we hit the intro. Jeff Sessions has to go soon. I'm hoping that fucking Trump gets so fed up with him that he can let him go. He's got to go. I'm surprised with Trump's shit so far. Like, he hasn't let him go. He's like, I don't think Trump knows that he can fire him.
I think Trump loves him. Trump knows he can get rid of him. I think secretly Trump thinks he's awesome. I mean, really, dude, especially after the
he's been
Trump's fucking. You can take their guns and fucking worry about fucking God. I don't even. Yeah, no, I'm blank today.
He's been meeting with the people that are opening up the Russian probe against Trump, so he's not happy with Jeff Sessions right now.
Yeah, I'm sure. But I mean, I think it's all just fucking. I mean, really, dude, I've never seen anything that I thought was just like lights and fucking bullshit until this recent, like, Trump's past fucking week or so. I'm like, oh man, this really was all bullshit. Like, it's been fucking nuts. It really has been.
But right quick, just a quick run through. Sessions greenlights police to seize cash property from people suspected of crimes but not charged.
Yeah.
And we all know this to be part of Trump's platform beforehand, just in business alone. Yeah. The Senate, I didn't even know this, but this was going on over the weekend here in the state of Florida. Florida Senate approved an AR-15 ban for 2 years. Then they didn't.
What the fuck?
They
didn't?
Right.
Yeah.
South Africa votes to seize land from white farmers. There's pictures of kids that grow up on these farms that have their mouths jawed open like little girls. I just saw one. A little girl that got whose parents own the farm, and there's people online like laughing like, oh, what? This is what happens to black people for hundreds of years, and then all of a sudden it happens to some white. And it's like, this is the point.
Wow, dude. Yeah, no, I mean, here's.
Well, hold on, quick. We're gonna have a discussion about this, and we've had this discussion before. Remember, it's not to be like, let's get back at Whitey. You know, that Louis C.K. bit, like, yeah, we deserve it, but for now, and that was almost 10 years ago. But the point of all this is not to condemn whatever the white people have had on their side for however long. The point of all this is to bring everybody up to that level, not to beat any one place or one segment of society down. The free humanity, the goodness of people would be to bring everybody up to that level. You don't have to beat anybody down to bring everybody up to that level. Yeah. So that's the conversation I want to have about that. But what's going on there is completely.
Yeah, what's going on is just going to keep a fucking war going on like that for fucking decades, is what it is.
Right. So we'll get into all that and more. We've got some stuff I didn't even hit on. But, news has been crazy the past week, so we've got enough to talk about. We're going to hit the intro. We'll be back in 2 minutes, everybody. More post-politics coming up next.
And the sad part is that most people seem to have been indoctrinated to believe that bullshit only comes from certain places, certain sources. Advertising, politics, salesmen, not true. Bullshit is everywhere.
The NWO Fighter, the show that gets America its balls back.
And you've got to put your bodies upon the gears and upon the wheels, by all the apparatus, and you've got to make it stop. And you've got to indicate to the people who run it, to the people who own it, that unless you're free, the machine will be prevented from working at all.
I don't want to put a violent connotation on it, but this is a war zone. I'm talking about my life and yours.
If you're not on some government list by now, you're doing something wrong.
After 8 years of lies and hypocrisy, people love this guy. Leads me to a very disturbing question. How far up your ass does this guy's dick have to be before you realize he's fucking you?
It's good for kids, too.
I mean, you're born absolutely free except for laws of nature. If you drink, you get drunk. That's a law. If you get old, you die. That's a law, too. If you sit on a cat, you will bleed from the ass. These are the only laws that you're born with, and any government just fucks you out of that type of freedom.
If you're not involved by now, you are just as much at fault as our oppressors.
I was terrified when my doctor told me that I had a unique and interesting personality trait.
It's post-politics with Trip Q.
Woo! All right, everybody, back at it. What up?
Yo.
You better recognize.
Yeah. No, man. Yeah, dude, this has been like crazy shit just all around, dude. And I think like I think it's crazy it's shown people's true colors so fucking much on both sides. It's not like I mean, from blacks and whites to Republicans and Democrats, like all around, dude. You've seen so much flip-flopping on both sides of shit, and you get to see how true to their team people are.
Here's the thing.
That it's like, oh, yeah, I don't really care if he's completely different than I thought he was going to be. I still support him. You know what I mean? You're like, get the fuck out of here, you know?
Right. Yeah. Well, that's the other thing is nobody here's I think I saw something. I was watching one of Rogan's podcasts where he kind of keyed in on this a little bit. And I think what he said was like, nobody wants to be wrong. And yeah. Something I don't know about anybody else, but I'm gonna be straight up with you. Like I'll argue my points to the fucking grave. And if you've ever been married or have a lasting relationship with anybody, I'll tell you what. Some of that and being a man and shit is going. I was fucking wrong, man. I didn't fucked up. I didn't handle that the best way I could have. You know what I mean? So
absolutely.
There's something about the pulse of everything going on right now where it's like nobody can look at themselves and go, maybe I expect
maybe not. Yeah.
I expect people to take me out of context from time to time. I don't always present things. Being a radio show host, I guess I should kind of have this down, but I don't. Yeah. I don't easily convey. I'm sort of like Charles Manson in that aspect. Like I speak in riddles from time to time, So yeah, like if you'd like me to elaborate, really get down to the nitty gritty, but I can't always do that in 140 characters or what the fuck ever and sound bites. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
that's just a part of my personality that I don't, I'm not good with. I'm not good in short answers that truly convey what I'm feeling or what I'm dealing with, to make my point.
Yeah.
Which sucks, I mean, I wish I.
Yeah, no, but I mean that is the case with most people,
right.
And also, like, I'm also one of those dudes, and especially and normally I'm this guy in like call out situations. It's like I've been called out or somebody said something, and I think of something I should have said, like fucking, an hour later, I'm like, oh, I should have told that motherfucker.
Yeah.
That's probably my worst is coming up with, because I play my conversations and arguments and shit through my head for days to come, just to make myself better for the next one.
I'm glad you brought that up, actually, because on that same podcast that I referenced Rogan on, he did say that, where he's talking about giving people your energy and your time, and you're like, I was like almost 40 years. He said I was almost 40 years old, like around 40 years old, when I realized that I would be sitting there having fucking arguments with people that weren't there.
Yeah, you do it all the fucking time.
Me too, man.
Yeah.
Me too. And what I would have said, and what I, oh man, this would have been a more, important jab to make into that discussion or that argument or whatever. And, so there's a part of that, it's part of giving people power over you too, and it stinks. It sucks, but, I think that there's a lot of that people. I'm putting myself on the same chopping block that people kind of need to let go.
Yeah, absolutely.
And people need to realize what they're doing when they do that. And you're not advancing yourself any further in your own quest to find knowledge.
By no means.
Etc. You're giving other people power to exist when they're not even in front of you.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, we're about enlightenment here too, but
we do that.
And we always say, the conversation's what's important. So at least we get to hash it out here. And, by all means, hopefully somebody that's listening goes, yeah, man, I do that too. And yeah, I should be better about that. Or,
I mean, you have to, dude. I mean, it's funny, man. I'm very big about like, that's why I've never really had like a huge addiction or anything like that, is that I'm usually pretty good about it. As soon as I see something having more control over me than I do, then I usually fucking drop it. And I'm that way with everything, and especially people, but there are times like with that same thing we're talking about with the, arguing with somebody that's not even their thing, that I do that a lot, and I've never actually looked at it that way, but it's one of those things that you're giving somebody else power over your fucking brain, and they're not even there,
Right. It's an important lesson to learn and it's just so that anger driven thing.
Mm-hmm.
There's a Hatebreed song that I wanted to get tattooed across the top of my back, as far back as probably 15 years ago. I never did, but there's a song called Driven by Suffering by Hatebreed.
Okay.
And I just really like that title, Driven by, like, I thought that kind of summed up any sort of, not that like I have this tortured fucking life or anything.
Yeah.
I mean, at some points throughout my life,
everybody's got problems.
Everybody's got problems. Yeah. My dog just threw up somebody's finger. That's a problem.
Everybody's got shit. Yeah.
Problems. Yeah. but I wanted to kind of like, that title, 3 words that really meant something. I was like, you know what? Any sort of momentum or a kind of like, I'll show you. You know what I mean? You might as well say, I'll show you. It means the same thing as Driven by Suffering.
Yeah.
Is it like I the more I feel beaten down, the more drive I have to make that right, to prevail. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like
absolutely.
That's a huge thing for me, and it has been my entire life. So that's kind of like, oh, tell me I can't do something. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
probably
exactly.
the best thing you could ever say to me is you can't do that, But
yeah, same with me.
That's all a part of it, but I don't know. Well, we got a couple minutes. I don't really want to dive into a topic, but me and the wife, we went out we had one of our date nights.
Yeah.
Like a month and a half, every month and a half, 2 months, we get this,
Yeah.
And we went out and they opened up a Bahama Breezes in town.
I have no idea what that is.
Sanford. It's one of those Darden restaurants. It's like Fishbone and all that shit. Like that, all those people own that same stuff. But it was like stacked. They've been adding new restaurants over that way for quite some time. This just happens to be the newest one over there, and it was stacked. And she was like, there's this down on the river. So we went downtown Sanford and went into a place I had never been before. I had been in the area, but never to this spot, and it was a really nice spot, and sat outside by the river, and I'm sticking to my keto shit as much as I can, so I had ahi tuna with this wasabi and the soy sauce, and fucking got cream cheese and spinach stuffed oysters. That shit was the bomb.
Yeah, dude.
Like, but I dropped like a bill, you know what I mean, between the guy fucking playing music, who like nobody, I feel so bad for those guys. And
when nobody's, The
guy was genuinely good, and we were right by him, and everybody else is like, whatever. And I gave him like 10, I gave him 5 to start with, and then on our way out, I dropped another 5. And then, like our waitress was really nice. I gave her like a 25% tip, dropped, 20 on that. And I'm not like out there like saying like, oh, whatever, I'm out there balling, just dropping shit for people. But like,
whatever.
I really like, that's just like an unsung thing for a lot of people that are like libertarians and ANCAPs and stuff like that. And, of course, we wrote taxation as theft on the tip. Fucking 20 in there for the fucking tip, or whatever. But it's like, there's this unsung thing where the rest of the culture thinks that people that believe politically and economically the way that we do, that we're like, fuck you, fucking I gotta get mine, what I'm saying? And
when really it's like, no, dude, I want to help everybody get theirs. Like, I mean, I think that's also some of the things that people like. I know when I'm like getting into arguments and things like that, or getting into debates with people, like most people think it's I just want to be right thing. And it's like, no. And I mean, this is going to sound even full of myself to that. Like, no, I already know I'm right. I'm not trying to fucking prove that I'm right. I think you need to know this information. You know what I mean? And it's not even most of the time, like I've tried very hard to not be telling people as much as I am trying to let them see it. Right.
Right,
so it's like, and it's one of those things like, no, dude, I think that there's a lot of people within our, within our group of people there that it's not so much about being right or so much of like trying to get theirs as much as it is like, dude, I want everybody to be able to do this. Like, I think it would be a better place for me to live if everybody could be this way. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. So it's like, even though I'm not balling, and I didn't do that to like go balling last night, I didn't even expect it. We went to a place that I didn't even know that we were going to go, because we ended up not going where we planned to go. We went to a nice little, surf and turf type fucking place on the river. We didn't go to Bahama Breezes. We went to a nice fucking little spot on the river last night. And like I said, it's not to like say like I'm balling out of control or whatever, but it's like that's the one time that I get to go out and have a dinner with my wife and listen to some music and be in a nice place and have dinner and no kids for the night and all that shit. Like that shit don't happen to me too often. So it's, when that shit does happen, I like to spread the wealth. I want everybody else to feel as good as I did. And, our waitress, she wasn't exceptional, but she was like nice and good and hooked us up and everything. And the dude fucking playing music, I was like, what are you doing playing at this place? Straight up. Straight up. Like,
I've met a lot of those people, man, for sure.
And, that's just something I always enjoy, but it's also like that's my deal of spreading the wealth. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's like, no, like I tipping well is something like I've worked in restaurants, what I mean?
Fuck, yes. Yeah, dude. if you're in a restaurant and you have a good like just mannerism about you, like a good demeanor about you, like you deserve a good tip just because of the fact that like working in a restaurant fucking sucks.
Absolutely. I was the opening act that drew the most fucking people to the location. I had over 60 people that were people that I knew that showed up to one of our shows that could barely hold as many people as showed up. But we were like openers on the bill as musicians.
Yeah.
We each got paid $10, which really didn't even cover like all the stuff that we had to do just to get there. But it was like, holy shit, we at least like as a band all together broke even and maybe had enough to go get some Wendy's after the show or something like that. You know what I mean? So like for me, like that was like, holy shit, you know, even though like, you know, the people like 2 or 3 bands after us got more money than we did from that night. I had the crowd that showed up, you know?
Yeah.
So that's paying it back. That's real economics. That's real, like, passing the buck and making it important and valuable to not only get paid what you're worth, but to do things up the right way. You see what I'm getting at?
Yeah,
is
for sure.
Like that tipping thing is fucking always huge to me because I've worked in those types of situations, whether it be free agent or at a restaurant or whatever, you know what I mean? Like I've worked in those situations where it's like, man, I appreciate you. Boom. And anytime anybody's done that to me, I'm like, man, thanks a lot, dude. You know, that shit doesn't happen all the time. I want to be that guy that those people remember at the end of the night going, man, you know, it's been a shitty night, but I had that one table that was like, that really fucking hooked it up, right? You know, this would have been a complete shitty night if it weren't for that one table, you know, whatever table I was sitting at.
Yeah.
So, you know, like I like to be that guy for other people.
No,
I don't know.
Yeah, no, I mean, and plus, you know that they've been busting their ass, and you might be the one reason why they're like, okay, it's not that fucking bad. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of always been my thing to fucking with just telling everybody, you know, I mean, I'm nice to like my stepdaughter was saying it, like, you talk to everybody that we like come into contact with. And I'm like, yeah, man, like I try and acknowledge people because dude, you don't ever know when that could be that one day that person was fucking gonna off themselves because this world fucking sucks. It's a depressing ass fucking place. But that dude just being fucking nice to me for no reason made my day a little bit better, and you know, fucking, I'm gonna keep going. You know what I mean?
Absolutely, dude. Yeah, I think about that kind of shit all the time, man. Like,
yeah, dude, because I've been in deep fucking depression before. I've been fucking angry before, and you know what I mean, and like had somebody else brighten up my shit.
I know I'm a dick most times too. Like I'm
no
complete dick sometimes. You know when it's
gotta make up for that shit. Yeah.
Right. Not just making up for it. Like I'm not like trying to like you know.
Yeah, you're not trying to like save your spot in heaven or anything.
Yeah, I'm not trying to like instant karma myself or anything like that.
Yeah.
And like I'm when I'm feeling good and I'm feeling with it, it's like no problem, man. Boom. You know, I'm not a mark.
It's also to me, dude, if I'm in a fucking down mood that day, like it helps me to conversate with people. You know what I mean? Like,
sure,
interaction with people is always fucking nice. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. We're gonna hit our first break here. We got. Okay, yeah, we'll do this. Okay, no, we can play through this. By the way, so our YouTube listeners can listen to it as well. We got some Hank 3 going off of his own label. You know, it's good stuff. And then we'll come back with somebody that we have not given validity to that's a pioneer and a legend in comedy. If you don't know who it is, Dr. Dirty, John Valby.
Yeah.
I have not ever played John Valby for
really?
Corner. I don't think. Maybe once.
All right.
I can't remember it. I can't remember us playing it, but so he's just a piano player who's a world-class piano player. He's a great piano player, over 70 years old, and he's still touring, doing like bar gigs, like the bars that you and I and everybody else would hang out in. That's where he books shows but he's great. So we'll play some Hank 3 and come back with some Valby, and we will continue the discussion and get some articles on the back end. Stay tuned. More Post Politics coming up next.
I've been all around gutter town looking for a better frown, beating on misery's door. Looking high and looking low, I guess I'm one of those lost souls who just don't quite fit in no more. Drifting, used and feeling down, staring at another round. Will nighttime turn into day? Taking good times when you're blue, well, there be someone there for you when you're dying on your dying day. Making it through is what I do to get over you. Making it through is what I do to get over you. Racing down that reckless road has hard advice that we all know. Take what you can and learn from it. I once saw Satanist lose his life. He was rolling the devil with his dice. I guess he was ready to call it quits. Fighting all night just to keep in line, trying too hard not to lose my mind, watching all the folks doing the same. I've been all around gutter town looking for a better frown. Why can't no one here remember my name? Making it through is what I do to get over you. Making it through is what I do to get over you. From a one-night stand, at least he did the time for his son. Well, I've done it more than once or twice, and I've made it through my darkest nights. You know I'll always be living on the run. Making it through is what I do to get over you. Making it through is what I do.
You're nuts. You're nuts, huh? Listen, I'll have you know that there are some girls who requested that song. Now, sometimes this song pisses girls off. You want to take a chance? All right, now look, if you can't take a joke, right, so don't worry about it, all right? All right, it goes like, you can tell by the smell that she isn't feeling well as the end of the month rolls around. You can guess there's a mess down there underneath her dress as the end of the month rolls around. So, honey, what you got to say? Shout out your orders loud and clear. We got super regular large, we got rags a bit apart as the end of the month rolls around. You can bet it ain't sweat when her underwear is wet as the end of the month rolls around. You can tell that it itches by the way she always bitches at the end of the month. So, honey, what you got to regular large. They can rags a bit of barge as they end up the month rolls around. She gets stiff when they sniff, but the dogs think it's rip as they end up the town. You can tell by the stink that she isn't in the pink as they end up the month rolls around. Yeah, but it's great when your favorite date calls you up and says, honey, my period ain't late. Yeah, they end up. Yeah, they end up. Rolls around.
All right, everybody, we're back. Dr. Dirty, John Valby, man. When I was telling Brittany, when I told her we had Valby lined up, and she doesn't really, she's not in the know too much. But I remember I got XM radio like back in like 2002, 2003. I think like my last month of high school. I got an actual XM radio, like when they had the fucking units and all that stuff.
Yeah, the little fucking boxes and shit.
Right. And like this was like the first time that I heard a handful of stuff. I mean, who was it? Oh God, what the hell is the name of that? They only made like one or two records. The name escapes me, but they play one of my favorite. It's one of my favorite metal albums. Why I don't know why that's escaping me right now, but there's bands like Glass Casket.
Yeah, I've heard of them.
Yeah. There's like a handful of bands that like I got opened up to just from hearing, the metal channel on XM, and I was also like seriously cued into the comedy station, of course, and we're talking like 15 years ago, and that was the first time I had heard John Valby and. Barnacle Bill the Sailor, if you don't know that one.
Yeah, I know that one.
It's one of my favorite. There's a skater. Well, he's just
he's fucking hilarious, and it's very much like that. It's almost the guy's name you were quoting earlier, the old like show tuney like fucking but it's fucking vulgar and it makes it nice. I like his shit.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's the guy cut out an audience for himself. Like same like Otto Peterson, Otto and George. I love these like lesser known comedians that have been in it since fucking the 70s and 80s, but nobody still really knows who the fuck they are, but they're still doing gigs. They're still
really, dude, Stanhope is that to a lesser degree, and he would have been that completely if he hadn't have gotten on like the Man Show and shit like that, and so people kind of heard about him a little bit more, but he is very much that guy.
Hope was, I knew Rogan from Fear Factor, but like the Man Show was, of course, like that was my opening, and that's why like those guys I've carried with me since that.
Well, and that's what sucks too, is that it sucks that that Jimmy Kimmel and them had a better Man Show than Rogan and Stanhope, just because of the fact that Rogan and Stanhope are by far cooler fucking people.
Well, Kimmel is also let's not be dissuaded here, but Kimmel is also very Jay Leno-esque.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
Like I used to be funny. Anybody remember when I used to be funny?
Yeah, no shit. No, he very much is.
Here's the thing: is like Kimmel is so like whatever, like, and it's like, dude, you did the Man Show. You were dilly-dillying fucking women with bouncing tits on trampolines and did some vulgar ass shit. Yet you're so above it now, aren't you? Like that's that's the thing that fucks me up. Okay, and let's open this up here. This came out as well. Now we covered last week a bunch of stuff, and this is This is another one of these things where it's not a gun issue. I'm not going to go into too many gun issues here. I'm going to go into economics.
Yeah.
That's what we're doing. Pointing out the bullshit hypocrisy and economics on this issue. Now, we dealt with this thing where Delta, if you don't know, Delta is an Atlanta-based place. They own, this is my hometown. They own 2 concourses out of 5, plus an international concourse. They own 2 entire concourses of Atlanta Hartsfield International Airport. Okay, is nothing but Delta flights. Okay, and the Georgia congressman said, we're not going to give you tax breaks if you drop the NRA discount.
Yeah.
Upon all this shit that's come out, a bunch of companies dropped their NRA discounts. Now, here's how stubborn. This is out of what is it? Daily Wire, fucking Shapiro and them's deal.
Yeah.
But here's how stubborn Delta is about eliminating the NRA discount. Okay. Now, this is a national debate item at this point.
Yeah.
This is just totally fucked on all levels, right? Okay, so you ready for it?
Let's go.
Only 13 passengers for Delta flights have ever used the NRA discount. Only 13 passengers have
fucking way
used the NRA discount.
Like, that's even hard for me to believe. Like, I mean, 13. I was thinking like 13%, but like 13, like altogether.
No. So here we go. After this Georgia law,
there's probably a lot of people using it now because they didn't know it existed.
So here we go. Just how stubborn is Delta Airlines about agreeing to bow to pressure to eliminate the National Rifle Association from a discount fare program? This stubborn. After a Georgia legislature removed a $40 million jet fuel tax break to punish Delta for caving to gun control advocates, airline spokesperson Trevor Banstetter admitted that only 13. This is the guy from Delta admitted that only 13 passengers ever bought tickets using an NRA discount.
Oh, they're gonna get so fucked on this.
Here's the real kicker here. That means each discount cost Delta $3 million in tax breaks. $3 million per passenger that has ever used an NRA discount to get a ticket.
Wow.
And they came out, oh, what a moral, upright Delta program.
Yeah.
Is it? They said,
guys are great. Yeah.
Our morals are not for sale, was their response. Our morals are not for sale. Really? Because it seemed like they were before.
Oh, my God.
There's pressure on you. Seemed like there was.
Wow. God, that's so stupid.
$3 million per passenger for 13 passengers that have ever used an NRA discount for that. Not only that, let's talk about, like I said, let's talk about the economic standards of this. How many people are not going to be booking? This is like airline companies.
Yeah, now people that aren't even members of the NRA are going against you just because of the gun control thing.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And this was something that we brought up on Wednesday night show. How this does have an adverse effect. You are not going to see people buying Delta tickets based on this. You are not.
No, that's 100% accurate, dude. When you fucking light a fire up under most of these people's asses, they don't fucking do it.
Like I said,
they're gonna fucking tell you fuck off.
This is not an industry of like, oh, well, you're only allowed to have these 2 cable companies in your area. You're only allowed.
No, there's plenty of fucking airlines out there.
Right. You can book a JetBlue flight. You can book a United flight. Yeah. Sadly,
the smartest thing in the world would actually be if one of these people actually came out and said, "We proudly hold the NRA, discount." Motherfuckers would flock to them.
What a better thing to do. No, guess what? All of these other companies, people don't understand marketing. I would totally, if I was head of marketing for any one of these companies, I couldn't wait for a national debate like this. No, guess what? We never had an NRA discount. Now we're gonna have one.
Yeah, now we have one because of these assholes right here. Yeah.
Increase. Watch. Guess what? We can't have enough fucking planes at in Dulles or Dallas Fort Worth or Hartsfield, Atlanta Airport. We couldn't have enough planes there because people that are flying are gonna buy our shit. And guess what? That's half the fucking country. You can bet on the fact that even people like us that aren't inside the Republican Democrat
people that just don't want to. I mean, no, people that just think it's bullshit.
Right. You own a gun, you're a gun owner, and you fly, you're going to go with trip nasties, post politics fucking airports.
Yeah. No,
over and to shit any day of the fucking week. And guess what? We hand out free bullets with a pack of pretzels.
Yeah,
you know?
No shit. Yeah.
Some 223 ammo with every fucking bag of pretzels on fucking post politics.
Exactly. Yeah.
Airline. Straight up.
No, dude, I'm telling you, people would fucking flock to them.
We're just not there yet. But
no. You know what I mean? We're gonna get a few more viewers on YouTube and we'll be there, dude. We got
how fucking ridiculous is that, though? They said
dude.
$3 million per passenger.
What kind of fucking idiots, dude? I mean, really, that's kind of my thing, is that you have to be stupid not to. Why would you not embrace this? You know what I mean?
The point is that people are not flocking to Delta Airlines, obviously.
No, yeah.
Their NRA discount is the point. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, come on, man. Come on, man.
Good Lord. Yeah, dude.
Here's
beautiful. Yeah.
Yeah. It's terrible. It's redonkulous. I'll bring out the fucking old ass shit.
I love that shit.
Redonkulous. It's so shitty. It's redonkulous.
I love it, man. Like, I just think it's fucking great that there's people that are like, that are so stuck. Dude, $3 million per fucking. That's so stupid. It's so fucking dumb.
Just to read that. Not only that, that was information offered up by the company itself. You understand the implications of that? Do you understand the full-blown retard dummy of that is going, well, we've only ever had 13 passengers that utilize the discount.
We've
I'm like,
decided it's a good idea for us to go ahead.
You have over 100 people per flight. What the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah,
you know,
dude. Yeah.
That's like the amount of people. One flight of first class passengers would not add up to the amount of people that utilized the fucking NRA discount. Are you kidding me? Are you fucking kidding me? So
that is fucking awesome.
Here's another thing that came up, and I love this, and I haven't seen it. I don't know even when it comes out, but I want to see it just because I love this guy. I love Bruce Willis.
Yeah, dude. I've seen the previews for it. It does look awesome.
So Bruce Willis is doing Death Wish, which, if you don't know, Charles
Bronson.
Charles Bronson. Everybody knows. But here's the thing: is that there's a handful of these movies that might today be considered to be B movies.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
And like Death Wish, and there's like a lot of like crime. You know, even things like Pacino was involved in after God.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like Serpico and fucking
yeah.
Like there's a lot of these types of movies that are really fucking gritty. They're really gritty that show like what it is in those communities and how that shit was. Dude, you talk about 75 to 85 was some grueling like decay of society shit that we weren't fucking even, you know,
no, absolutely
a part of. That was just, you know, you saw cities just start to cave and collapse.
Yeah.
Crime, like really degenerate fucking shit.
Yeah. Before Detroit.
But they're remaking Death Wish with Bruce Willis. I couldn't think of anybody better to do
Bruce
this.
Willis is the fucking man, dude. Like I still to this day, dude.
It's nothing you can say.
No, he's one of the only guys that like has remained a hero of mine. That's a fucking actor, right? Obviously, but like a hero of mine since I was a kid, dude. Like since the fucking Die Hard days, like he has never lost a bit of fucking light in my eyes, you know.
I'll tell you how far I go, and I'm almost I'm ashamed to admit this. I'll say I'm ashamed to admit this. I own the Bruno fucking album.
Oh wow, yeah, okay.
I own the vinyl record of Bruce Willis's.
Yeah, you're worse than me then. Yeah.
Yes.
You definitely beat me out on that one there, Trip.
I went to the flea market and thought it'd be a crime not to have. Is all I'm saying. You know.
Yeah. I mean.
But
I think the debate could be made for both ways, but yeah.
Well,
a crime not to or to have.
And we'll get into this article, but my sort of commentary on this is you guys should have seen the originals, and I want to bring that kind of back.
Yeah,
like
dude.
people
Bronson
are
was the fucking man though back in the day.
Absolutely. Bronson's a fucking man, but you're also talking about a different time. So it's like if you think that is bad, there's a whole cinematic value of films that came out. You know, like I'll throw things like Rambo movies into that same genre. You know what I mean? There's a whole slew of like vigilante and or like crime movies that came out during that mid 70s to mid 80s era that isn't the best cinema. You know, it's not the best written or whatever, but the fucking brutality in those those movies are unprecedented.
Yeah,
it's just
especially for that time, like even more so. Like I mean, because of the fact that that shit was just not shown.
Right, that's what I mean. Like today, you couldn't make that fucking movie. Are you kidding me? You couldn't sell that to a studio nowadays.
Yeah,
sell. You know what came with that? Jeff Goldblum's first fucking appearance. This
goddamn rich cunt.
That's from Death Wish 3.
Yeah, it is.
That's from Death Wish 3, and that's Jeff Goldblum having a blackjack and smacking a woman in the fucking face.
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
That's that scene.
Yeah, there's a couple of those movies back then that and actually I will say yes, brutality and vulgarity towards women was a lot more accepted back then for sure.
I'm not even going to say it was like accepted as much as it was like
allowed to be shown, yeah.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
100%. So anyway, let's break in the meat of this article before we got to hit our top of the hour break here. So, boy, liberal elite social justice warrior Hollywood movie. Critics sure hate Bruce Willis's Death Wish. You won't.
Is
the thing. So this came out Friday. I haven't seen it. But Bruce, here's sort of
the rundown.
Yeah, the meat and potatoes of the article here. Bruce Willis is about as big a star as Hollywood manufactures nowadays. Sure, he's been in a few dogs. Who hasn't? Absolutely. Everybody's been in some
I fucking loved Red, though. I heard a lot of bad shit about Red, and I fucking enjoyed the fuck out of it. I fucking loved him.
I've heard good things about it, but okay, so Death Wish is not one of them. Of course, you wouldn't know that from the film's Rotten Tomatoes rating, a barometer millions of moviegoers use to decide whether to plunk down $30 for a ticket and some popcorn. The movie gets a 16% rating and just 10% from top critics. There are 20 top reviews, 18 rotten, just 2 fresh. So that's just for Rotten Tomatoes shit. And the critics don't just hate the movie, they hate it.
Yeah.
It asks nothing and offers only the blanket assertion that feelings of masculine inequity. An NPR critic wrote, oh, go figure. The most important thing a man can do is protect his family, and I failed, Willis declaims, can be abbreviated ballistically. It's very obvious that director Eli Roth directed this. Come on, man. It's got to be a good film. You got Bruce Willis and Eli Roth. Give me a break. Anyway, doesn't really care about the film's political baggage. Who gives a fuck about political baggage?
Yeah.
You don't fucking make every fucking artistic film, and this is a reboot.
No, and that's what's fucking terrible too. Is I think a reboot.
Just fucking go for a minute. This is a reboot of a fucking late 70s film. And you're going to sit here and say that the director doesn't care about political baggage? Why the fuck should he? A, this is a reboot. B, if you're going to fucking project art, fucking you better be blatant in your fucking political ideology or not give a fuck. You shouldn't. Not every movie, not every artistic creative life form needs to have some sort of fucking political background to it. This definitely not one of them. Or I mean, even the assumption, and of course this movie was filmed before all this debate that we're having in this country now. You know what I mean? I'm sorry, for the past 10 to 15 years you didn't know that Eli Roth makes fucking brutal, violent movies.
Yeah.
Are you fucking out of your mind? Are you
like, go look at his record of movies first.
And it's like it's like, oh well, they neglected the political baggage of the gun welding vigilante fucking person. They don't got a problem when it's fucking Batman or fucking whoever, right?
Yeah.
Hey, just put a cape on, Bruce Willis, you'll be fine.
Yeah.
Are you fucking crazy?
Yeah,
Are
he was
you
just
goddamn mind?
A short list of Eli Roth movies. Let's see here. Hostel, Inglorious Bastards. He was with. Let's see. He was also did Death Proof with him. Also, all of his movies are Cabin Fever. All of them are rough ass. The Green Inferno. I don't know if anybody's seen that, but that was fucking brutal. Yeah,
dude, I'd never seen Green Inferno, and I need to just order it on Amazon.
Oh, dude,
I can't find it anywhere.
Brutal.
But I heard that's like one of the most brutal things since that cannibal movie that they made.
Yeah, dude. It was it was rough, dude. I watched that one, and I actually watched it. I didn't know it was Eli Roth when I watched it. Found out afterwards. But I just kind of saw and it was on Amazon at the time. It was on Amazon Prime at the time, and it was like, oh, dude, I'll check this out. I don't know. I don't know if it is anymore, but that's where I watched it.
Goddamn, I'll have to check it out. I'll have to
check it out, man.
I got the primes.
Yeah, hell yeah. Yeah, dude, it's fucking crazy when people are like, oh no, man. I can't believe they made a movie like this. And you're like, dude, it's Eli Roth. Every movie he's made is probably more brutal than this. Fucking people are crazy, dude.
So yeah, I mean, like I said, that's the gist of it, is like it sums up, and there's plenty of movies. I've been thinking about that a lot lately where I'm like, man, there are some movies that I like the dystopic, like Ex Machina. I haven't seen that yet.
I haven't seen Ex Machina, but I heard it was fucking awesome.
What's that apocalypse fucking movie that just came out? The same people that made Ex Machina.
I don't know.
Annihilation, I think it's called.
That's it.
Annihilation. I want to watch that shit. I've listened to interviews with the directors and the writers and the actors of that movie and stuff like that. Like, there's a lot more stuff that I haven't even been into to even allow myself, because I just think everything that comes out is shit.
Yeah.
I was watching The Sopranos fucking before we got on air tonight.
Yeah.
I'm watching old shit. I'm still watching old shit because it's like, oh, this was better.
Because all the new shit sucks. Yeah.
Yeah. But I really do need to open up myself to some stuff that's just better. But anyway, so people are like, this is a NRA campaign, this Death Wish and all this stuff. And it's like, by the way, you're fucking, people are fucking retarded to not believe, like, okay, this movie just opened this weekend. We've been having this fucking huge debate for the past 2.5 weeks in this country about this once again. And C is that if you fucking knew better, you would know all this shit was filmed last year sometime. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh, anyway, we're gonna. I'm done ranting on that shit, but we got a whole handful of other stuff. So I'm gonna. We're gonna hit our break. Sorry, YouTube listeners. We're gonna hit our.
Have to mute you.
We're gonna have to mute you on this one, but we'll be back in probably 8-ish minutes, 7 to 8 minutes, and we'll kick it back off. So much love. We'll be back in just a handful, everybody. Stay tuned. More post politics coming up next. Shout out to our friend and listener Sean Michael. Just lost his father. Actually, I just found out. I tagged him in the post tonight, but I know he was dealing with that. So, thoughts and prayers.
Yeah, for sure.
We've got Spent Kent probably calling back in. I think he tried calling during the break, but if he wants to call in now, we'll take his call.
For sure.
We've been really razzing him on the no pun intended on the Friday Night Super Show for being the old man of the crew. You know,
Lee's just having fun with that shit.
Oh, dude, man,
he's right up there.
Been cracking up on that, but yeah, Spent Kent, if you want to call back in, give your take on whatever we've been talking about, go for it. We're back.
Yeah.
So, let's see. Shit, lost my. So we ended up talking about the Bruce Willis Death Wish. That I don't know. I hope it's cool. I hope they add that new shit to it. You know what I mean? Where it's like no, and not only that, it's like leftists and critics are losing their minds, but it's like. Well, we're talking about vigilante justice here, A.
Yeah.
B, it's like, what do we talk about so often that we're like, man, dude, if anybody ever did that to my kids and my wife, like, dude,
I'd fucking kill them.
No, we're gonna close the garage and we're gonna have some fucking fun for a couple days, you know?
Yeah. No, it's the Russell Crowe movie. I don't even know what that one is either, but yeah.
You don't get easy. Yeah, fucking law-abiding citizen.
There you go.
It's one of my favorite fucking films. I watched it like a week or two ago. It was on Stars.
It's fucking great.
I watched it, you know, and it's like, no, we're gonna have some fun.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I got 10 years to plot. I'm an inventor.
Yeah, I'm gonna fuck you up.
Right.
Yeah.
So, we got all that and some more. Let's see. Yeah, let's get into this South African shit too here. So they vote. Here's where democracy goes awry. Okay. South Africa votes to seize land from white farmers without compensation. We must ensure that we restore our dignity for our people without compensating the criminals.
On Tuesday, South Africans, through their publicly elected representatives in Parliament,
buffering,
voted overwhelmingly in support of a motion to accelerate equitable land redistribution through expropriation of land.
Oh, jeez. Okay.
Buffering. That's South African signal.
Without
we're
compensation.
We're getting signals from Africa.
They heard you were white. They were fucking appropriating it to the other fucking guys.
We don't. Oh, jeez.
We can't be giving all you white folks all our bandwidth. What? What's going on here?
What up?
What's up, man?
Hello? Care and responsibility. Do you? Spent Kent, what's going on, bruh?
Okay, everybody repeat after me. Spent Kent is a young man.
Is it?
Yeah. Young man.
He's young at heart.
Man.
Yeah.
That's
what's important.
He's a very old, cripple, feeble being with a fucking heart of a young lad, if you will.
Pretty much.
What's going on tonight, brother?
Nothing much, man. Just wanted to call and say, hey, just bored.
Thanks.
Bored.
Hey, well, we're here for you, bro.
Post politics. Listen.
Appreciate it.
You fucking asshole. Anyway, but what's I don't know, you got any take on any of this shit that we've been talking about tonight?
Well, which one? Which one was you talking about?
Anything. I don't know. Whatever.
Right now, though, we're going into the South African land appropriation from white folks. But
I don't know. I've just the little bit I've heard about it. I don't know what to make of it, man. I don't know.
Yeah, it's just more global racism, man.
Yeah, it's gonna, more divide and conquer.
Yeah, exactly. Even in Africa, we've been doing that for a long time, though.
Right.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Well, anyways, I've just been doing so much radio in the last three nights, and then the weekend before too. Just what was I going to talk about? I was talking about getting unity. I was talking about you were just talking about on the show. I think it was the Friday Night Super Show, but unity is what I've been wanting to like. We need to unite. We need to get people closer together, and I've been saying this for forever, I guess, but every time we try to get any progress, getting some unity going, then something goes wrong. Just another thing goes and divides people. Whatever issue it might be.
We all know where it comes from.
And then the drama too within people in the movement too. But yeah, I want to hear Jesse.
Right, yeah. We all know where that comes from. Time and time again, they try to shut us down anytime we get unity going on. And a divide and conquer is the name of the game, my friend.
That's right.
God damn right.
It does seem like some sort of like COINTELPRO type fucking horse shit, though, doesn't it? Like, I don't mean to get off on like conspiracy nut bullshit, but it's like, no, like that really is what happened. Like when we had some momentum going on, like I don't know if that was necessarily completely done by outside forces. I'm sure that had something to do with it a little bit. But you had all these people that were like all up for change and really calling out the establishment and really calling out all the bullshit that was happening like within the political process, etc. And it seemed like it was like, we think this and that, but we're all in it because we know what's really going on. And now it really is like, well, you don't believe in cultural appropriation, and you don't believe in that, the fucking this, that, and the other. And so that's the part that drives us apart. Well, let's harp on that. Everybody that knows the system in place is already bullshit. Let's argue amongst ourselves until we can really, let's get the underling shit fucking hashed out.
And there's so much to argue about.
Absolutely.
There's so much. I mean, they argue about like the Colin Kaepernick thing.
Well, Kent, you got to stop putting out microaggressions on this show. All right, fucking upsetting to some of our listeners, and we cannot tolerate it.
We can't tolerate that. Want everybody to be happy while they listen to Post Politics. Yeah.
Well, I'm taking a knee, so okay, I'm back.
You un-American piece of trash. But anyway,
guys, there's guys on those YouTube videos that are burning their John Elway jerseys and jock straps and everything else. It's signed by John Elway. He played in the 1987 championship game. Signed by him. It's worth $3,000. Burn throws in the fire.
Right.
Protesting the NFL for.
And then, of course it's fucking stupid anyway, because it's like, listen, dude, they got paid to do that. Like that's the thing. Like I will say for that is like big ups to him for fucking taking the knee and all that kind of shit. But in that whole thing, they did get paid to do that. Like the fucking government paid them to fucking.
Goddamn. Yeah, guess what? You know what I don't do at my job is fucking tell my customer base all my shit about what I do on this show and talk about my political ideology, apolitical ideology, to be more specific. Why? Because I'm getting paid to do a job. Do I fucking treat my customers well and fucking do what I'm supposed to do? Yes. Why? Because that's my job. It's not
what I'm supposed to do. Yeah.
Somebody.
Okay, but I mean, I say this, but is your job? Do you guys stop every 5 minutes, put your hand over your heart and start singing?
No, but I mean, to that same effect, though, if your job were getting paid by the U.S. government to do that,
Please, God, no.
Then get another job. You know what I mean? Like that would be the thing. Like because you're getting paid by them to do that. That's part of your deal.
He's not getting there. The players weren't even. They didn't even have to be out there.
Yeah, no. They didn't used to have to be out there. No,
us. You
they
call
didn't,
this.
They
didn't.
Of course, you can't race racism.
No, they didn't. They didn't used to have to be out there, but then the government went into contract with the NFL and paid them to go out there. That was part of the deal.
Yeah, but at the same time, there was no requirement to do any of that stuff. You know, like
that's not beforehand. Yeah, but
but there is now.
Yeah, 500 million tax dollars. By the way, not only just building fucking stadiums across the country now, new stadiums, they're taxpayer paid, but also taking 500 million plus on record from the fucking the Pentagon or the military budget, etc., to plaster that shit all over your sports channels and have a dick sucking contest on national television for the military every time game is played. Yeah, that's what you get.
No, it's fucking ridiculous. It is absolutely. I agree.
And you know the worst too, taxation is theft. They take our tax money to brainwash us with that stuff. You know, with all that
absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. That's part of the fucking deal.
Yep.
So the fool burning his John Elway jockstrap. He was not only is he burning his money, you know, they took his money to brainwash his ass to burn his jockstrap.
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard of it. Proud to be Warren.
No, it's fucking ridiculous, man. It is. When it comes down to, I mean, but that's the thing. That's the base of government, dude. They make no money. They have to take it. The fucking theft is in their fucking core principles.
Absolutely.
That's what I mean. It's
what
makes
the money
it so inherently fucking wrong.
You've got people that are already fucking more to get into a position of government power, and at the very bottom, you're already making more than the average American. You already are making more than the average American. Now, I'm not necessarily saying that fucking if you're going to still have Congress and things like that, that they shouldn't, make any money if that is their job or whatever. But if that is, do you know that, like, maybe the people of your given community could make enough to pay your salary if it was fair enough for, quote, the average American? Yeah. All you got to do is listen to some political bullshit and vote yes or no. That's all you got to do.
No, you don't even have to listen to it.
But that's
that's what's crazy is that they don't even. I mean, the way the shit is released now, they're releasing like fucking a 2,000-page fucking bill the night before you fucking vote on it. So they're not only.
Do you know how many government jobs, just government jobs out there, could be paid by a very small segment of society? Like, this is so much easier than what it's made out to be. It's like, this is a real fucking problem for what these people are getting paid, what these people open them up to. Like people start out as low-level politicians and fucking end up coming out, even if you serve a 2 to 4 year term, you can come out a millionaire on the back end. How the fuck does that?
Yeah, dude. No, I mean that's for sure.
How does that
I mean, dude, look at guys. I mean, look at Obama, and that's not just on Obama. I'm just using him as an example. It's every fucking president. They go in and they come out as fucking millionaires.
Obama was somebody that rose to prominence from a low-level political position in zero time. Zero time.
Yeah, no time at all. I mean, that's why he was so young.
Reagan was into politics fucking almost 2 decades before he ever became president.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just using that as a frame of reference there, but that's what it is. Is like nowadays, of course, Obama is like the case in point right there. Like, he was a state, not even a whole, full-fledged senator. He was like one of these district representative guys fucking when he gave
organizer
the 2004 DNC speech.
Yeah.
You know? Like, that's where
we're insane that it goes that way. It really, really is.
Hey, Kent, we're going to move on, man. Anything in closing?
And then you look at like the dynasties, like the Bushes and the Clintons too. So
yeah, absolutely. You know. Yeah,
but
dude, those people have fucking born and raised on that shit.
Yo, no, I'm good. I just want to chime in and say, hey, I'll be around soon, and you guys got a great show. Thanks for having me, and we'll be in touch.
All right, man. I appreciate you calling in, dude.
All right, guys. Take care. Peace.
Take it easy, brother.
Spent Kent, the fucking fossil. Fuckers brewing oil just by living.
Oh man. Fucking.
But yeah, and I guess more than is implicated by this South African land seizure is that they really are like raping and pillaging fucking these people's land and stuff, and you're seeing people people's kids getting beat up, and it's like, we're a civilized society now. Like, this is not,
this is not acceptable. Yeah.
This is not acceptable anymore. And like I said, you could say whatever, but people are like, well, they're finally getting what's coming to them. And it's like, oh, well, let's just, you talk about progressiveness. Let's not progress as a society. Let's just fucking turn the tables on the ones that have been the oppressors. By the way, the people living now had nothing to do with the fucking oppression. They just,
nothing to do with it at all.
Can we bring everybody up to where they think the fucking quote white man is at? Let's
no shit.
Everybody up where they think the white man is at, because talking to Zach and I, we're not even quite where modern day society deems the quote white man to be. We're fucking white. Dude, I made that fucking post earlier. One of the most popular posts I've had in a while. And that's why I'm always here's my image of success on Facebook, at least, is that if more people have a laugh emoji, I know I made a good joke, but it also happens to me. So I want more people, I want more people with a laugh emoji on my fucking Facebook account than anything else anytime I post anything, if I deem it to be funny. So my post was, if you think that and Brittany and I have been cleaning the house up, and she's been just filing through papers, and we got a file cabinet, so she's making files of all this stuff, and everything, and a lot of the shit that I've got, other than bills and things like that we're filing, is stuff from like my previous marriage and my divorce and all that stuff. And we're looking over like my divorce decree from I was 25 when I got divorced, but it was like I noticed this, so I made this post earlier today, and I said, if you ever have a issue and think you're like white trash or whatever, remind yourself that in my divorce decree I have negotiations for a deep fryer, DVDs, movie posters.
Nice.
And that's the truth.
Classy, dude.
That's the truth. So
classy as fuck.
There's a little white trash in all of us, I guess.
Shit.
I was just starting to earn some shit. I was, like I said, I was 25 when I got divorced. It's like that was shit that I had. That was like, I earned this shit. I fucking owned this shit.
I didn't put it in the decree, but believe me, my big thing was, I'm keeping my fucking TV.
Right, exactly.
I don't watch the motherfucker anymore, but it's sitting proudly in the fucking living room.
Right, the TV was in the fucking divorce decree as well, all that stuff. But it was like, also, I was going like, I didn't work all this time to earn. This is what little I have, right?
Yeah.
And if my ex-wife wasn't trying to take it from me, I wouldn't have had a fucking, a motion legally to obtain what's already mine. Like, the deep fryer is a gift to me from my uncle. Honestly, like, that's what it was. I don't even own it anymore. But I wasn't going to let that go 8 years ago.
No.
Like, I'm just saying. Just saying.
Yeah.
Tis what it is. Holy shit. All right, we're gonna do a news blitz on the back end, everybody. We're gonna we'll hit a quick break right quick, and we're good to play through. So yeah. Yeah. Okay, we'll be back in about 6 minutes, everybody. Stay tuned. More post politics.
Smokestacks reach the sky as cockpit revolution heats the air. On every city street, in every state, the truth stands all too clear. The kids are sick and tired of the news today. Sick and tired of all the lies. Wait for the truth. It isn't gonna be no paradise. It isn't gonna be no paradise. In the case, it isn't gonna be no paradise. Oh no, we need to take the world back now. We need to take control right now. Promises of a better tomorrow, promises for the borrowed dollars. No disaster ever looked so great. So what I say, as old men deliver nothing but terror, war. We ask ourselves, what are we dying for? It's all the kids are sick and tired of the news today. Sick and tired of all your lies. Wait, one, no, two. It isn't gonna be no paradise. It isn't gonna be no paradise. In the place, it isn't gonna be no paradise. Oh no, we need to take the world back now. We need to take control right now. Richest of the rich, dined in fancy chic cafes, not a worry all the days. The cost of luxury throughout empires of history is vengeance from those empire enslaved. You better hear us now. It isn't gonna be no paradise. It isn't gonna be no paradise. In case, it isn't gonna be no paradise. It isn't gonna be no paradise. Oh
Riders! Throw that bandanas on!
Some blue, some red, some white, some red, some red.
We take all these motherfuckers down!
Some blue, some red, some white, some red.
We get all this shit done in one sleep! Yo!
Hey man, what's that you claim? I'm a low-down rider, I ain't new to the game. Got a blue bandana around my neck like a chain. Always stay strapped, always ready to bang. Got the whole interior of my mind and gang range. Got the windows rolled down when I'm posted, I'm slanging bangs. So everybody know where I'm at. Bandana on my face, one time around again.
Bandana on my face to conceal my identity, and out the waistband to show my affinity. Rollers, young lobster, and a dirty ass baby gripping tight to my holster. My favorite rag, let me tell you what I do with this. Strictly for whipping off them fingerprints, cause I squeeze an AK gon' spray. Anybody who stay gon' leave a DOA.
Some blue, some black, some white, some red.
Riders rock back to the day that they dead. Bandana, we need a breeze, come on. Bandana, hanging off the side of the crowd.
Some blue, some black, some white, some red.
Riders rock back to the day that they dead. Bandana.
the crib, I be wearing a bandana, one tied around my head, one hanging out my pocket. It's an automatic death sentence. If you fucking drop it, don't get fucked up. Coming fucking with a thug rag, end up toe tag, loaded in a body bag. This real shit, G's die 40 squares. Come disrespect my colors, find your ass in the crosshairs.
I wear a bandana on my face like the Lone Ranger. But we different cause I kill a perfect stranger. Fuck with the kid, best believe I'll make you famous. The stainless steel shirt will leave you where you're laying. Bandana covering the handle of the weapon. With every color, some motherfuckers stop guessing. Throwing signs, I rock the red, blue, black, white, and gray. Wrapped up tightly so you never see my face.
Some blue, some black, some gray, some red. Why does rock crack to the day they dead?
Bandana, don't need a breeze, come on. Bandana, hanging on the side of the prom.
Some blue, some black, some gray, some red. Why does rock crack to the day they dead?
Bandana, don't need a breeze, come on. Bandana, hanging on the side of the prom.
Bandanas, big gun blasting, black trucks, snatch gold. Robbery, murder to stack trucks. No Michigan State ID can find me. Flags hang out under lows where I be. Patterned, scattered, leave you beaten and battered. Blow holes in your clothes and leave your bones shattered. I'm bullet, bitch, and I'm a motherfucking rider. Laced up in bandanas, wrapped up inside of them.
I bust shots in the middle of a hot club, and then I stand there drunk as fuck. You won't believe what kind of shit this is. Bandanas all tucked, no witnesses. Fuck a hat, let your chain hang on. Quick to bust back and leave a hole in your Kango. Walk over and relieve him of his bankroll and leave a bandana on his motherfucking face.
Some blue, some black, some gray, some red.
Why does rock crack to the day they dead? Bandana, don't need a breeze, come on. Bandana, hanging on the side of the prom.
Some blue, some black, some gray, some red.
Why does rock crack to the day they dead? Bandana, don't need a breeze, come on. Bandana, hanging on the side of the prom.
Some blue, some black, some gray, some red.
Why does rock crack to the day they dead? Bandana, don't need a breeze, come on. Bandana, hanging on the side of the prom.
Some blue, some black, some gray, some red.
Why does rock crack to the day they dead? Bandana, don't need a breeze, come on. Bandana, hanging on the side of the prom.
All right, everybody, we're back. Post politics, final segment.
Yeah.
Brittany refused to come on, but I was like, "How's it going out there?" And she's like, "Bunch of fucking like feminist, fucking anti-wall, like just
Bunch
like everybody."
Bullshit. Yeah.
I was gonna have her as our correspondent, but she didn't want to come on. But it's. I don't know. I'm sure I'll hear about it after we get off air.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, like these people are fucking out to lunch, basically.
Sure, dude. They're all fucking nuts. We know that. It's not a new thing.
It's not a mystery.
Yeah,
but
ain't one of them.
We don't even care whether or not we care.
So it's. Yeah, that's basically everything that our predispositions to this came absolutely true, basically.
Yeah. It's working out exactly as planned.
Right. Yeah. Bunch of millionaire Democrats in the fucking same fucking building together, patting themselves on the back for shit that they are at most at fault for. All right.
No way.
So.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah, it happens.
The fuck ever. Tired of this hog shit.
Fucking hogwash.
Hogwash.
Yeah.
There you go, buddy.
Amen.
Okay.
I am the South, motherfucker.
All right, exactly. We got I got another article here that just popped up that I just thought to share and thought it was funny and good and cool. So we're giving a award. A woman chugged an entire bottle of cognac rather than give it to airport security.
Hey, fucking dude. Yeah, no, like I want to like
She's
make
Chinese.
something for her. Like yeah.
She's Chinese too. So.
Oh, she's Chinese too? Man.
Yeah. Chinese
racist ass was totally expecting her to be black.
white woman.
I
Yeah.
was expecting a black woman, dude. I really was.
Cognac, yeah, we should have known that. And
Yeah.
as you can see, I'm almost done with my bottle of Cavatier.
Exactly. I was thinking black woman for sure. You know what I mean? So big props to the Asian community for
for chugging bottles of cognac.
Yeah, for coming through with that one, dude. I didn't even know that you could, but yet again, Yet again, we prove on the show that racism is wrong because, you'll be wrong sometimes, whatever view you have.
You can't have those stereotypes out there, man. You really can't. Once you start putting stereotypes into your everyday mix, not only are you, easily entertained, but you're also wrong, And
see, that's my thing is that I keep the stereotypes not as like a way that I act, right? Like I don't act that way towards people, but really as just as fire on the back line for jokes, really.
Well, yeah,
I'll tell you.
Yeah, that's what it's there for, I think.
Yeah,
here was
I
last
thought so.
Time. Okay. So I think the last time I flew, it was when I was going out to San Diego. Last May was the last time I flew out somewhere, and they've got a duty-free store, as most international airports do.
They do that.
Stop at the duty-free shop.
And I was shopping. Okay, so they've got this fucking massive liquor store, and I'm like, I want this fucking bottle, right? Like, I'm not allowed. I'm past security, right? I'm past security. I'm fucking getting on my flight, and I go to the duty free store, and they want to see my ticket, saying that like I'm coming into Orlando instead of flying out somewhere. And I'm like, no, I want
motherfucker. Yeah.
So I'm like,
what kind of fucking Nazi bullshit is this?
I'm like, so let me get this right. I can go on the fucking flight and get charged $10 for a fucking shot of fucking
That's
Maker's.
Exactly why, yeah.
Yeah, and it's like,
look,
no,
sir, you look like you could put some back, and we're not allowing that to be cheaply.
Are you fucking kidding me? I'm like, it's a duty-free store. Like, I'm walking in. I want to give you cash. Hey, how about I give you money, you give me a fucking bottle?
End of
Deal?
transaction, yeah.
That would be the general assumption.
I thought that was cool. And they wanted to see my ticket to make sure that I couldn't buy a bottle of fucking liquor before I got on the fucking flight.
Not allowed.
You fucking terrorist. Next thing you know, you're gonna be making Molotov cocktails and shouting Aloha Akbar and shit.
Yeah.
Aloha snack bar, all that good shit.
I bet you had some towels in your suitcase.
I didn't.
They're gonna. I bet you that's exactly why they didn't. It's like he's gonna put one of those towels in the bottle, and the other one's gonna wrap around his head, and next thing you know, fucking jihad all over the fucking place.
Exactly.
Like, I want some 151.
That's the thing. They do it. Yeah.
Right. I wanted some 151 so I could fucking make a Molotov cocktail out of it. Yeah, absolutely. Whatever.
Well, I mean, it does light the easiest,
Oh, fuck you, mother. Anyway.
That's how those flaming Dr. Peppers came to be,
Exactly. Yeah. Burn the whole side of your fucking face up. You're supposed to blow it out, you stupid cocksucker.
Oh, dude, that's the greatest videos.
These douchebags fucking ruined it for everybody. They don't even
blow
sell
it out before you smoke, you fucking inexperienced fuck. Yeah.
I'm trying to make some fucking Caribou and they fucking don't even have 151.
No, man. No, if you want to make more than 100 proof alcohol anymore, you got to make it. You can't go buy it pretty much unless some motherfuckers that be bootlegging and shit.
Well, tonight I'm on the fucking I'm on the Wild Turkey 101. So
Wild Turkey. That 01 is bullshit. That's just marketing.
Yeah, it is I was a big Wild Turkey guy. Well, I was in the military, man. When we were on base in in tech school, man, like right before full active duty regular job shit. It was illegal to, we're under 21 too, but it was illegal to have alcohol in the dorms. So what I would do is go, because we're in California and they sell liquor at the corner stores and shit.
Sure.
And, so we'd walk off base and I would buy a 2 liter of Dr. Pepper, empty a liter of it out, buy a liter of Wild Turkey and pour it into my Dr. Pepper, and then walk back on with 2 liter bottles of Dr. Pepper like I was just buying Dr. Pepper off base. and get fucking wasted.
Like a boss player would.
Yeah.
Back when I was trying to hide it from the ex-wife, I would buy 6 packs of the 24-ounce bottles of Pepsi, and then a bottle of tequila, and then just pour like a good quarter of the bottle of Pepsi out, and then fill it up with tequila and just walk around drinking Pepsi.
Dude, I used to have a neighbor that would hide. She would hide beers under her fucking mattress, dude. Like, and her kids told me about it. But she would like go upstairs to her room and drink hot ass beers from under her mattress. That's how bad her shit. And I was like, dude, you need to pick up liquor. What the fuck is wrong with you?
Yeah, but it's like, anytime that you try, here's the thing that I learned about, whatever you want to call it, just wanting to drink or alcoholism or whatever, is that
when you alcoholism, whatever you want to call it. Yeah.
I'm just a drunk.
Drunk. Yeah.
You want to drink, but then sometimes people's spouses or whatever have something to say about it or whatever.
Yeah.
But it's like you end up fucking yourself over more when you are like one of those secretive drinkers or eaters or whatever your vice. I'm not gonna just label that as drinking. Whenever you're like a secret fucking a binge eater or drinker or whatever
your thing is,
you end up hitting it fucking harder than
because you have to go in there and like chug before you go back out to the fam or whatever.
Exactly.
I've known guys that would sit and drink mouthwash during their shift because
I've heard about
the alcohol content in it, man.
That's another military thing too.
I heard Keith Whitley used to drink cologne.
Oh
yeah.
It doesn't surprise me. You guys that are trying to hide it, to get by on their job or whatnot.
Yeah.
Everybody knows my drinking exploits are of long lament lore, and I can pack down that stuff, but I don't drink while I work. And I was just working until about the time you guys started the second hour tonight, and then I was able to get because I've been working all day. That's what I do.
No,
but I don't drink when I'm at work. I mean, I smoke a shit ton of weed, but I don't drink.
Yeah, but you can smoke weed and work without an issue. But I mean, you can't get drunk as fucking work. It just doesn't. I mean, you could, but it just wouldn't be a very nice outcome.
Some jobs, you can get away with it. When I was working in the manufacturing plant, and all you had to do was put the piece of wire in the machine and then pull it out the oven without getting burned.
Yeah.
You could drink a 6-pack at lunch and be all right.
Yeah.
Then it got to the job got a little bit more detail oriented, and you had to pay attention. And you come to make that decision in your life as to whether or not, let's see, is that beer so good that I need to keep drinking it at lunch and then fuck off the rest of this work that they're trying to get me to do and
my
get
problem.
back
If I were to drink at work. If I were to drink at work, I would quit whatever I was doing I'd say about 5 beers in. You know what I mean? Because my first like 2 to 3 beers, I would work amazing, right? But once that 5th one fell over, I'd be like, "Fuck this," like.
Yeah, it's pretty rare. I gotta be at least working for about 16, 17 hours before I'll drink a beer and then keep working. Because usually. Once it hits my lips, I'm just like, well, you know what? Fuck this shit.
I don't really need this fucking job anyway. Fuck this shit.
Right.
Yeah. Wait a minute. You know what? I've been here 18 hours, and I don't fucking have to be here 18 hours. I'm just making myself money quicker. Shit.
Yeah.
But this woman here, Beijing Capital International Airport, for a noon flight transfer. She was stopped at the security checkpoint for trying to bring an entire bottle of Remy Martin XO Excellence, valued at roughly $200 through her carry-on baggage. No big deal, right? But a bit of a dilemma. So what was she to do? According to a report from Nangfang,
she did what I did.
Nangfang.
If you had given me the name of if you had given me that name before, I would definitely have not guessed she was black for sure.
Nangfang.
So anyway, Chinese woman. U.S. Transportation Security Admission suggests in such a situation on their blog, the TSA says a good traveler should do as follows. Take the item to the ticket counter and check it into your baggage or a box provided by the airport. Many airports have a postal service or other shipping services area where boxes, stamps, and envelopes
I don't think the people that I've seen that work for the TSA have any business telling you how to be a good anything.
Hold on. Yeah.
Agreed.
Three. If there is somebody seeing you off, you can hand the prohibited item to them. 4. If your car is parked outside, you can take the item to your car. Here is where 5 comes into play, which is I just before Lee joined us. Number 5. I'm traveling. I want to fucking drink. I don't like to fly. I like to drink.
If I don't drink, I'm going to kill everybody on this flight.
When I was denied...
Go off like a bomb, motherfucker.
When I was denied my bottle of whiskey on my way out, you know what I could do at 11 o'clock in the fucking morning? Go to the fucking Outback Steakhouse fucking place inside the fucking mall and buy 2 doubles and fucking suck them down back to back before I got on my flight to pass out on my way out to fucking California. That's what I was allowed to do, was buy $40 worth of fucking drinks.
Jesus.
Which is less than what I would pay for the fucking bottle at the fucking duty-free store. I was like, you know, I'm kind of like this is bullshit and fucking walk out kind of guy, because I'm not going to cause too much of a scene with stuff like that, where I'm like, I'm not going to put my fucking flight in jeopardy, but I want to fucking let them know that at least let them know.
Kiss my ass. Yeah.
They kiss ass in the morality standpoint, like the legality and the morality standpoint of the whole deal is fucking bullshit. I was like, okay, so I can walk over to Outback and fucking get hammered at 11 o'clock in the morning, on my way to my flight, and I can pay $40 for that, but I can't pay $25 for a duty-free bottle of whiskey to take with me on my fucking flight out to Cali.
They don't want you. They don't want you to take bottles of water anymore on flights, do they?
I don't know anymore. It's fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, because that's as a little tip out there for you kids going to festivals. If you want to make a little bit of money, because festivals are expensive, get yourself a whole case of bottled water. They let you bring in all the water you want, but you empty out the water and you fill that shits up with vodka. Then
or rum.
Or rum, whatever.
I would get rum based
but
on
the clear rum is always like fucking Malibu, that weak ass shit.
No. We got some shit here in Iowa called Paramount Rum. It is fucking brutal and cheap. You could get enough to fill 24 bottles of water easily for $30.
Nice.
You know, easily. And that then you get a little bit of Kool-Aid and another couple jugs of water, and you make some Kool-Aid
and ready to go.
Yep, start making rock vodka right out there, boy. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. And then because they start selling liquor at festivals at like 2 a.m. So then everybody's still up tripping and doing hallucinogenics and wanting to party and everything. Guess who's got the hookup on the liquor?
Oh shit.
Well, final segment of the night here. Jeff Sessions greenlights police to seize cash property from people suspected of crimes but not charged. Now,
this fucking guy.
It's like they're doing Minority Report without the technology.
And there's like, here, Granny from the Hillbillies, come here and play this part for us.
Yeah.
Oh, this guy, I hate Jeff Sessions.
Yeah, I hope he goes very soon. I think he's fucking the next bigwig on the chopping block, but we can only hope and pray, can't we?
I don't know if y'all kids out there got that Twatter app, that the president's so fond of. I suggest you get on there and start telling them to fire that punk's bitch ass. Because
but here, the goal here is to empower our police and prosecutors with this important tool that can be used to combat crime, particularly drug abuse. Rosenstein said at a news briefing, "This is going to enable us to work with local police and our prosecutors to make sure that when assets are lawfully seized, that they are not returned to criminals when there's a valid basis for them to be forfeited." Now, I've heard a lot of stuff, the fucking right-leaning people lately, and I know that we've fucking kind of taken more of a right approach to a lot of stuff recently, but no, you know, me and Zach talked fucking at the beginning of the show about like how people are just so like, no, we're with him, whatever it is. You know, it's like you got these people that are like, oh, well, if you want to take, he's not talking about taking guns from us. You know what I mean?
He just means criminals. He's gonna check and make sure that I'm not a Trump supporter before he takes my guns. You know?
Right. He's gonna check my voting record before.
If that's the case, what happened to the wave of black people and Mexican people running and buying "Make America Great Again" hats?
Yeah, no shit.
They're out there. If they're out there rocking the block, man, with some MAGA hats, you know.
Yeah.
So that's sort of like the you know, the whole full fucking 180 and the turnaround on a lot of this stuff is going like, they're gonna be like, oh, they're drug people, you know, and it's like, well, you don't understand, okay. Like people, and I've had people, I posted some articles on the Post Politics page, which, Lee, thank you, you're on every fucking thing that we post on that page, so I appreciate you fucking having it, you know.
It's at the top of my news feed every time you guys post, man. That's
all you got to do is go to the fucking page and say "see first" on the Politics Facebook page, and it'll come up. Lee is a fucking will definitely
testament to that fact. Yeah.
I've got plenty of pages that are in my news feed, and people that, you know, I follow, that you can actually do that on their pages. It just says "see first." If I can do it, I mean, look at me. Come on, man. We're on YouTube.
Guy, ladies and gentlemen.
If I could do it,
halfway through a werewolf transformation, Lee can fucking get it done. You guys can.
It's all nice and trim now here, son.
But
the front here is still the epic madness that everybody loves.
I've caught a lot of flack from a lot of people going like, you should read the whole article, and I'm like, well, I did read the whole article. Like, what are you trying to convey? What are you trying to convey to me that I didn't read the article? And it's like, no, don't you understand the implications of this? Like, do you not understand that? Like, oh, well, they're just talking about taking guns away from the mentally ill people, not from everybody. Trump's not a gun.
Okay. Yeah. They might as well just sit there and say, what's implications mean?
Right. Yeah. So whatever it is, it's going like, don't you see how labeling people as like, you know, like I said, I'll turn it back to that one article that I had issues with people on, is going like, well, no, my problem is with labeling. It's like, you could say somebody that has a distrust of government is in the same line as somebody that's a schizophrenic that should have, which they're not, A. And this is the same type of deal here, where it's like, oh, well, I like to smoke pot on the weekends because I'm a fucking hardworking American and I fucking go to work every day and I fucking take care of my kids and da-da-da. But, hey, you know what? I like to smoke pot on the weekends. I'm a, quote, drug dealer compared to whatever Jeff Sessions is.
Exactly. I'm a drug dealer.
So, yeah, but I'm just saying, like, that's where that leads to.
Marijuana's not a drug. You're exactly right. That's exactly where it leads to. I mean, the next thing you know, here come our grandchildren and our grandchildren's children, and they're saying, you know, well, if you put the toilet paper on the roll the wrong way, you're going to fucking jail.
Absolutely.
And that's where it's at. You're mentally ill. You can't have a gun. Yep. You put the toilet paper roll on backwards. What?
Wait, I'll read this quote again right quick, just so you can get a frame of reference here.
Just so there's no confusion, there is no wrong way to put the roll of toilet paper on there. I don't give a fuck.
I like it underneath. I'll be honest. I like it underneath.
You're a communist.
Yeah, well, I've heard
You
that.
commie son of a bitch. Yeah.
So you have no frame of reference here, Donnie.
But I'll read this quote again. This is going to enable us to work with local police and our prosecutors to make sure that when assets are lawfully seized, that they are not returned to criminals when they're a valid basis for them to be forfeited. What is valid? No, you didn't steal that. By the way, you didn't steal that. It's like, motherfucker, you want
whatever we make up.
If you, and I'm not saying this about myself, I'm saying, if you say, I sell drugs, I offer a product, fucking people buy that fucking product. And just because I make my fucking living outside the quote legality of whatever the fucking Justice Department has, chalked up to that, is like that means that you're able to fucking seize my car, my home.
Look at the context of the word.
Look at the context of the word.
Look at what they say. If there is a valid reason. Guess who decides if there's a valid reason?
Yeah,
the
no
shit. That wrote that shit, man.
Yeah. It's fucking insane, it's like, dude.
Hey, you know what? I really don't like paying 25 fucking cents or probably more. That's those are conservative numbers, by the way. I really don't like paying 25% taxes on my gas. So, when they show up and fucking want that, I'm going to go, no, I'm good.
Kiss my ass. Yeah.
Yeah, that's every average American can just show up and go, you stole 25% fucking on the gas tax. So, no, I can just take shit from you.
Yeah, I get to do that.
I just get to do that now.
Yeah, no, I mean
because
that's what the
dude, that Americans, we deem it legal now.
We can just same
way
thing, dude. I posted the meme of it the other day. It's fucking hilarious, right? Is like Trump being like, it's the same people that think he's Hitler want him to take their guns. It's like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like you think he's actually Hitler, but you want him to take guns away from you? Like, dude,
it's like going. It's like I said, that's like going to the pump and saying, well, there's a 25% tax on everything. So let's say I go and get 16 gallons of gas. What's that? $4 worth. So then I fucking pay for it. I go in, I get the $25 of the gas, and then I go in to the fucking gas station after I'm done pumping and strong arm fucking the counter work for $4. I go, give me my $4 back, you cocksucker. I didn't fucking pay for that tax. I don't want that tax. You give it back to me.
Yeah.
That's what.
It's basically like going to the executioner and going, hey, will you hold this axe?
Yeah, no shit.
There you go. There you go. Fucking
hold this for me. Yeah.
What a bunch of fucking cocksuckers, dude.
It gets to the point of rabid stupidity, and you've got to really wonder if people out there are that fucking en masse so much that this is becoming the narrative of the country now. This is what's being put out the place, or is it really that? And I hate to use this fucking term since fucking old Hairpiece Supreme fucking made it old famous, but fucking fake news. Is it some bullshit that they're fucking manufacturing, putting out there to fucking make us all think, look, dude, you're too stupid for me to even talk to you, okay? Right. Stay over there by the fucking melons, and I swear to Christ, if you fucking try to fondle one of mine, I will kick your ass.
Well, the other point is that nobody really wants to put it in context quite like we just did, though, either. You know what I mean? Like, that's really that. Like, think of how absurd what I just presented to you guys is, but that's what they're really doing. Like, that's like anybody
in comparison to this. But to be quite honest, I think more Americans out there put it into the context the way we just did, as opposed to the stupidity and the fucking ignorance in the context that they put it in. Because if we can see through it, we're drunk. I mean, maybe not Zach, but me and Trip got to get pretty good buzz going on. I've had about 4 or 5 beers just since I've been sitting here listening.
That's the way you should be thinking of it, though, by the way. You know what I mean? Like, we might be fucking out of our gourds, but the point of the matter is that that's the way you really should be looking at it. Is like, that's exactly what they're doing here. But
if we're drunk and we can see this stuff and we're kind of buzzed and shoot, man, I've been hitting on this fine ass strawberry kush all night, but it's if we're that way and we can see this stuff. I mean, you can sit there and go, oh, well, you're all fucked up and you're not thinking straight. Man. Or you could sit back and look at the valid points that we're making. And
I don't think, I got to be honest with you, I don't think a lot of people sit back and look is what sucks. Like, and not to say that everybody doesn't, right? But I think that there's a large group of people that don't sit back and look at all. They actually just kind of go, well, the government wants to do the best for me.
I'm related to a lot of them.
There's a good amount of people that do, but I just mean in general, there's a lot of people that don't. There's a lot of people that just believe what they're fucking told.
They just don't put it in context the way that that's fucking blatantly obvious. You know what I mean? They just don't have that whole like, okay, you've got this section over here and the math and the equation that goes along with that. And it's like you would have the same equation on the other side, but it's like it's not put in context the same way. So people somehow just look at it fucking different. But it's like, no, dude, it's the same fucking thing. Don't you see it's the same fucking thing?
Well, they stopped teaching that stuff.
Yeah, that whole critical thinking thing. I totally forgot.
Number one, critical thinking. Number two, understanding the difference between content and context. You know, by the time I had reached 7th grade, dude, that section was about yay big, okay, in the whole textbook, and that's about how much time she paid attention to it in that classroom. And I was just like, okay, I understand the difference between it because, I've been somebody who's speaking the English language for, a good 8, 10, 12 years, however fucking old I was.
Yeah, one of those times.
Great. Yeah, and
okay, guys.
It's that way, man. I got to bail the fuck out of here, man. I drank all my cold beer in the room. I've got to go back to the fridge, and it's clear out there. And you guys are awesome.
Yeah, thanks, man.
Fucking
Final
love you too, bro.
Fucking Friday night super show here on J-Rev.
Baby. And Post Politics back here again on Wednesday.
Yes, sir.
Much love. So, Zach, anything in closing, sir?
Nah, man. Good to go, man.
All right, you can only play about 15 seconds of this before we got to cut out of the YouTubes. I'm just saying.
Deal.
So,
we'll do.
But we'll catch you guys Wednesday.